please help me in giving a big Texas-sized Dallas Fan Festival welcome to our guests, Mr. Brandon Routh and Ms. Caity Lotz. Overshadowed by Brandon's applause.
Oh, well, thanks a lot.
We were awkwardly sitting out here being like, is she gonna come out?
I was like, are they gonna invite me onto the stage?
I'm so sorry.
Did you? Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I did not.
I thought you were just like fanboying with Brandon. You guys were having a moment.
Nothing ever goes right with the Legends mission anymore.
No, I just wanted to have a moment by myself with them, really, is what it was.
I know. I wanted you to have that moment, too.
Thank you, I appreciate it. You know, to be a part of the kind of Arrowverse, as it were, or the DC, CW TV universe, I was just talking about this in the Arrow panel before this. It's so interesting to look back at that kind of era because what was happening on the big screen was kind of all over the place. And yet, the blueprint for what y'all were doing, and doing with characters that were more niche and fan-loved, I think has really established a blueprint of how it's just done in general now, even on the big screen. But what was your perspective on the kind of inside looking out?
Yeah, I don't think any of us actors, at least Legends, necessarily can take ownership of that too much. We kind of got to be the culmination of those things, I think. We got to be, you know, the best of the extra from Arrow and Flash, and then, because we were a ragtag team, we became, you know, the guardians a little bit of the DC, I think, before the movie. I can't remember when they came out, but, you know, it's interesting that there are similar in tone in many ways, and very appealing, because we want stories about family, and found family, and people who have been through challenging times, but can connect and find friendship and connection, and also hopefully, you know, save the universe.
Yeah.
And that's appealing.
Yeah. Anything?
I just remember when they cast Grant as the Flash, and it was such an interesting, cool choice, because instead of like, it was more of the, wasn't the traditional superhero, like big buff, right, whatever, it was like...
He's buff.
He's very big and buff, but you know what I mean. And then in the movies, they did the same thing. Like, they went that direction.
They hired a really scrawny Superman to be an opposite, too, in 2006.
Yeah.
Who could you possibly be talking about right now?
I know, they scrapped that movie.
Yeah, well, you know, it's an interesting segue, because I would love to hear about your perspective, because you've been kind of a journeyman through these different eras, starting all the way back, Superman Returns, which, for my money, you know, is not only one of the greatest Superman movies ever made, but you are one of the greatest, if not under Mr. Reeves, Supermans we've seen on screen. But, yeah, absolutely. That's true, but then, to see you know, in that movie not be appreciated in its time like it has become now, thankfully, but to get to kind of come back in a similar but different way, as a different character, but also get to come back as Superman. What's your perspective on that, starting where the idea of a shared universe was, no one would ever, you know, even dream of something like that existing outside of comic books? To being in a cinematic universe and getting to play multiple characters, I mean, it's a comic book fan's dream that something like that exists.
Yeah, I think what everyone in the Arrowverse did, I'll be right there, sorry, I have to answer this question. What they did was create a connection between the different franchises that worked in a really great way for the DC universe because they hadn't found a way to do it successfully. Right. Still really quite haven't, other than TV. And I have great, I think that James Peter Savage are going to do great with it, but you know, that is yet to be seen, I guess. But I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome for people. It's awesome for storytelling. It's a natural progression of where the genre is going, bigger, better, you know, all of the things. And I want to say about playing Superman that I never thought when I got the role of Superman that I could play another superhero. And so that was a whole new world. Which I'm very grateful for, and then that brought the opportunity to come back again as Superman. And to answer the first part of the question, now that I'm remembering, as I was stalling to find out the answer, was that, you know, Superman Returns came out in 2006. That was the first film that had come out since Christopher Reeve's film, since 4. It's very natural that people would have many different reactions to that. Yeah. No matter how good I was, or the trailer was, or the movie was itself. People have, that's their Superman, that's their thing, or I'm this or I'm that. Everyone has opinions. That's what we're here for. Everybody gets to have their opinions, you know? Yeah. So sometimes it just takes time for people to let go of their own opinions and judgments and see things, see different colors to things. And that's just life. We don't learn lessons right away. Sometimes it takes the third or the fourth or the fifth time to learn the lesson that you really wish you would have just learned the first time. Yeah. When somebody called it out to you, but you couldn't, you know, own it enough. You know, it works that way here too, because you can allow for all kinds of different ways to tell a story. I'm going to be done now.
No, I mean, it's a great point, and I think that is the true power of what y'all were doing in the Arrowverse and what we've seen in TV in general. I mean, Star Wars is another thing from that time period, the prequels that were misunderstood that have now been made anew and renewed, and the fans were always there. We just kind of had to be given a chance to react to our own fandom. Yeah,
and there had to be that bridge of understanding from what was the greatest of all time to, you know, somebody else.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And I knew that.
Yeah.
I was 24, 25. Right. I was like, you know, but people are warm to it. So I was a little bit, didn't understand necessarily, but I certainly understand now.
Yeah.
So no hard feelings to anybody who didn't appreciate the movie at first. It's okay.
Hi.
Hello. So I always like to refer to Legends of Tomorrow as all my favorites go on time travel shenanigans. And as if you can't tell, I'm a big Constantine fan as well. What was y'all's favorite moment when once Matt Ryan was, you know, introduced into the show? What was the your favorite time where magic kind of started to get involved into the time travel shenanigans?
Just made me really miss Matt Ryan. I really miss him.
I was in England with him a couple months ago. Yeah, he's doing well.
I miss him. I don't know.
Matt Ryan, he played Constantine? British accent. Is a lovely person and fantastic actor. And I liked all the stuff that Ray and John got to get into because they were opposites and it was always fun to play. And we did the Willow the Wisps, and I think that's the scary cabin one in the woods where we go to camp, maybe. I can't remember. Anyway, he makes Will-O-Wisp and we're following, and I'm chasing him down through the forest in Vancouver. And yeah, I mean, I like the magic stuff that he could just do that, and it also shift. Oh, to science, because we made the magic gun. Did I make the magic gun with him? Was he a part of it? I did that before he was around. That saved Nora. Anyway.
I liked, I don't know if this really is answering perfectly, but I thought the scenes where Ava was jealous of Constantine. Yeah. I thought that stuff was so funny. I love that.
It's also very fun when he would, sometimes they had written some kind of faux Latin for the spells, and then he would just make it up. He'd say it so many times, and it'd be just silly, and we'd all laugh. Silly.
When DC's Legends of Tomorrow started filming, I feel like it's a time where you didn't really see a lot of strong female roles, and I mean, your role is a phenomenal one. You were strong, brave, courageous. I mean, you were the best. I mean, you are the best. So I guess my question is, how did your portrayal of her role affect your personal life and your growth in your personal life?
Oh, well, thank you for those kind words. Yeah, it was like right at the time where I feel like the women's movement was just like kind of kicking off. Because it wasn't, like, the women weren't the captains, you weren't the boss. I mean, even when we started the show, I think even on the call sheet, I was at the very bottom of the call sheet. And then there was like this whole movement of like, oh, wait a second, like, the women can be leaders too? Like, they can be the boss? And that was pretty cool to be able to step in that role. And I think, the greatest thing about being able to play Sarah Lance was, and hearing how it affected people, was one, that she was like a female leader, female boss, like the one who's in charge and gets to be in charge and is unapologetic about it. That, and then her sexuality. Those like two things were like the coolest, and especially for the time, there wasn't a lot of that kind of representation on TV. Things have changed tremendously now, but whatever that was, I don't know, 10 year, 12 year, long time ago, back when we were young. Yeah, that was pretty cool. So, and it's, just such a blessing to be able to, kind of be a part of that when it was going on. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Huge fan. I just want to ask, I guess, what is your favorite character arc or storyline for your character in Legends? And, like, which season was your favorite?
I loved all the stuff with Laurel. Even like carrying that over to Legends was really nice to deal with, like, her sister, and then getting married to Ava. That was pretty cool. Favorite season? They were all so good.
Favorite season would be 4.
What was 4? I don't remember.
4 was Mollis and Bebo. Wait, Bebo was 3 actually. It's 3. I go 3 and 4. 3, 4. 3 is not a good 7. 3, 2. 3.5, 4. Right, Bebo's in 3. It's 307. Yeah, Constantine. And Nora and Magic stuff. 3 and 4.
What's the one with the unicorn?
That was 3.
Okay, season 4 was great.
You're in the exact
We
room
went
you can throw out
to
any
Woodstock.
random, like, what was this? And somebody's like, season 3, so what?
Love it.
To Woodstock. I can tell you a lot about the day. I'm remembering how we shot it and stuff, hiding in the bushes, waiting for a time to go, grab the rope. Okay, but
Favorite arc?
Favorite arc was, I guess, Ray and Nate's friendship. It's the one that kind of got more fully realized and took, was natural and is a cool thing that really bonded, I think, Nick and I in a way, because we were at odds. We liked each other initially, meeting each other, but then we were kind of, in the Samurai episode, kind of don't really want to give him the super syringe thingy, but I make him the Citizen Steel, basically, and, then we're bonded, and I learned to be a hero without armor.
Round of applause for all of our great questions.